Why am I running for general president of our great union? First of all, I actually believe our union is great. We're 323,000 members of the best men and women that you could find on planet Earth, in my opinion. 123,000 of those have been organized in just the 21st century, so we're growing. We are a big, bold, strong union. You'll hear some other candidates say that we need to take back our union. I don't believe we need to take back our union from anybody. This is our union, and it's our union to make better. It's our union to lead into the future, and we're going to do that. And I believe that we can only do that, though, together. We are a union that leads in so many things: cancer research, our presumptive benefits, our SOPs, disaster relief funding, and things we use back here at home, our MFAs, our municipal financial analysis, GIS and mapping. And we look at the federal level, the Sadroga Act. We look at SAFER grants and SAFER funding, as well as our cancer registry, our public safety officer benefits. And I can keep going on and on and on. Things that the IAFF, our great union, has provided for us to make our members safe and to let us do our jobs a little bit better at home to make our communities safe. You look at the Fight Back program, and in the coveted color, the black and gold brand that is coveted by elected officials in two of the great countries that we represent, that they want, and they want us behind them at their rallies. They want us at their press conferences. We built the IAFF into a powerhouse. In my opinion, brothers and sisters, we are the baddest union on the planet. And I don't mind saying that to anybody. So we need to make sure that we have a leader that is going to look for the challenges that we have ahead of us and tackle them head on, but also seize upon the opportunities. As a way of a state and local officer, where I currently serve, when I need something from the IAFF, I get it. I want to make sure that's the case, not just for me, but for every size local within our union. We have so many challenges ahead of us. You look at COVID-19 that we're all dealing with all over the world. Look at the civil arrests all across our great country. Look at our brothers and sisters that are getting cancer at crazy rates per year. And also our brothers and sisters that are actually looking at taking their own lives because of what we see over time, the cumulative effect of our jobs. There are a lot of things that we have to face in front of us, but we do that together. And that's why we need leadership that brings us together to tackle these challenges. We don't need a savior right now. We need a leader in that spot for general president. And that's why I believe we need a fresh start at the top. And that's why I'm running. You know, we talked about, and Brother JJ talked about Scott Walker. And you all probably remember the story in 2011. We had an asshole governor named Scott Walker that came in, and he was getting his butt kicked by AFSCME up and down as Milwaukee County exec, which is our largest county in Wisconsin. And AFSCME was always fighting with him at the table. He came in and said, he told his highest donor, these are his words, that he was going to come in and divide and conquer the unions, that he was going to come after public sector first, leave police and fire exempt, and then come after private sector through right to work legislation. He did exactly that. But what he wasn't expecting is that firefighters, we did what we always do, and that is we responded to the emergency. He thought that we would take, which he asked us to do, he thought that we would take our exemption and hide, that we would take our exemption and be quiet. We not only stood up, but we stood out, and we were there at every rally, and not just standing there and helping. We were leading the rallies by way of our bagpipes, our flags, our support, and our speeches. And I say the word we because we did it together as a united front in the professional firefighters of Wisconsin. But what a lot of people didn't know is that internally we were struggling. At the time, we had a district vice president and our state association that did not get along at all. They barely spoke at a time. Matter of fact, that's some of the ways I became president in 2011. Matter of fact, in 2011, with everything going on with Governor Scott Walker, I was still having to go back to the office, us and the team, and figuring things out. We had 8 locals that actually wanted to pull out of the state association. They were sick of all the bickering and the fighting at the top levels. I asked those locals, I said, hey, give us 3 years to turn this thing around. 3 years. They said, we'll give you 2. So fast forward to today for time's sake. We now have every IAFF affiliate in the state of Wisconsin that's actually in the professional firefighters of Wisconsin. We even have the city of Milwaukee, which is our largest local 215, 950 plus members. And they were out 26 years prior to 2011 for a lot of other things. They are now in our state association. We started a statewide PAC we've cut our salary at the top. I've cut my salary. We've cut our secretary treasurer's salary. We did that willingly so that we can give more money back to our members. We gave back to our members $1 per member per month. And our members in turn assess themselves $1 per member per month via resolution because they believed in the mission that we set forward. So we now get $2 per member per month, brings in about $75,000 to $80,000 a year that we not only use for our statewide elected officials, but we also use it for locals like Beaver Dam and Pewaukee when they have referendums on the table and we need boots on the ground, when they need resources for local elected officials. And we also start a political action team so that we not only give them money, but we back that money up with boots on the ground from our 60 locals in our state. And again, we did all that together. I believe very, very strongly in being part of our community. And I believe that if we're not part of our community, it will be at our peril as locals and as firefighters. If we don't see our community outside of the emergency, they will not be there for us when we have staffing cuts, when we have brownout of stations, when they're trying to cut rigs for us. So we started and we put together a working plan in 2013 that essentially started our charitable foundation. We started from the ground up, $0 in there. We now have close to $1 million in assets and 2 full-time employees at our state office. We bought a building, so we're financially sound, that we now have our renters in the first half paying for our mortgage. So we're financially sound, not just for now, but for the very near and the very long-term future when I'm gone. So we've done all these things. We started a statewide educational conference that we've always had. But we've had about 40 to 50 people that would come per year. So in passing, I asked our members and our locals, I said, why are you guys not coming? And they said, quite frankly, we can't afford it. It's $300 a pop. So again, our team, we came back to the table. We actually put our heads together. Now we make it free for 2 members from every local in the state to come to our educational and legislative conference because it's that important. Now we get 250 to 260 members that actually come. And all we did was cut and trim some of the fat at the top and raise the fees from our vendors who are happy to do it because now they're in front of more firefighters. So I say all these things, brothers and sisters, not to pat myself on the back or just to give a list of accomplishments so that you vote for me because I did this. I say these things because we did this. And I'm not perfect. Our state association is not perfect. I'm not trying to convey that. But what is perfect is when firefighters get together as a team, just like we do in our jobs every day. That's perfect because we're fighting for the greater good, but we're fighting together. And that's how we get shit done. You know, I believe this is the most important election of our lifetime. We have not had a general president election since 1988, from what I'm told. We have to get it right, in my opinion. We have to ask the question, and this is what we did in Wisconsin. And I realize Wisconsin is a small microcosm of the bigger IAFF and that bigger union. I get that. But we asked, the issues were the same. We were divided, not getting along. We needed a leader. Someone else go listen to the members. And we asked ourselves one question. What kind of union would we be if we did everything in our power, if every decision that we made was a member-oriented decision? What kind of union would we be if everything that we did was based upon the members, not based upon our next 4 years and our next election, not based upon whether Scott Walker's in office or not based upon if we're having infighting? No, what kind of union would we be if we were to talk up to our local, that we have a local of 5 members in our state to a local of 950? What kind of union would we be if we put all of us together and clustered us together and every decision we make is based upon our members, their needs, their wants, and what we actually do in our jobs?